Hey guys, happy, blah, blah. Try that again. Good Wednesday morning, everyone. Hope you guys had a great holiday weekend. I pretty much worked all the time, but that's okay because I love what I do. But anyway, so now we are moving on. Now it's time to surface this board. I think I've got all my crooks and nannies all filled in with the CA glue and with the resin. So we'll come right back. I'm going to be using, to begin with, I'm going to be using my 40 grit belt just to, actually I think it's a 50 grit, just to get most of the resin off to where I get it down flat. I'm definitely going to be wearing my mask, and then I'll go back and with my like 120 grit and maybe even 220 grit and get it all down smooth, and then we can take the layout on there and figure out exactly where it's going to be, how big it's going to be, and all that. So we'll get to all that on this video. So stick with me. Vicky is still gone, so I'm doing this videoing by myself. Anyway, gosh, I miss her. I know she'll be back in a couple days, so it won't be a problem after that. So hopefully by Friday's video she will be involved in filming. So thank you for your patience, guys. It's kind of tough to be on both sides of the camera. Anyway, so let's get to it. We'll be right back. Okay guys, so I'm going to go ahead and off camera, I'm going to do the rest of all this with my 40 or 50 grit belt, get it all down like this, then we'll go back and do a finer sand. Alright folks, got the rough sand all done, got it down pretty smooth, so I wanted to just kind of stop for a second and zoom in. So all those spots are pretty much smooth now. Now I can switch over to, I was using the 40 grit paper before. Now I'm going to switch over to the 120 grit. And then I may go down to 222 or 220 also. Let me say it that way. But so far I'm liking it. It's all pretty smooth. I don't think I missed anything. Anyway guys, we'll come right back and do some more sanding. Alright folks, so now I've got my little armadillo sander. I've got my 120 belt on here, and I didn't mention this before, but man, this thing, if you guys aren't using one of these sanding belt cleaners, and you're doing much sanding with a belt sander, you got to do it. Watch how this cleans this up. Works great. So now, and then sanding this resin on that rough belt, I really needed to use it a lot. So I'm going to do this little section with the 120 grit. We'll see how it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and look how it loaded that belt up. Let's see if we can clean it again. Yeah, that works nice. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. I've already sanded the back, by the way. I've already done that. This is the face of the sign. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up with this belt. We'll be right back. All right, folks, here's what we got. I went ahead and figured out where my layout is going to be. I've trimmed my pieces, so those are the two offcuts, end cuts there. Those will be gone. And I've got this all surfaced down, ready to do the layout. So here's what I did. I went ahead and printed out, basically this is the size that the layout is going to be. Obviously it's backwards, which is the way I have to print it because I'm doing the freezer paper transfer. But I wanted to print out just a mock-up one. So anytime you guys are doing something like this, before you actually print out the final one, I would definitely print out the mock one. So this is exactly the size it's going to be, except, you know, it's going to be backwards from this and it'll be laying flat. So when I print out the real one, it will, it'll be this same size all put together. And I've made marks at the end over here, here, and then centered it pretty much top to bottom. But I'll confess, guys, I'm really nervous about this. This is, but I'm going to either prove or disprove my theory of being able to carve through the gnarliest stuff that I've ever carved through, and seeing if it will actually hold up and work out. So we will see. You guys will see along with me if it's going to work out. So the next step is I'm going to print this thing out on freezer paper, get it all 4 pieces. This is 4 different tiles. Get all these 4 pieces taped together, and then we'll come back. When we come back, we'll do the transfer on this board, and I'm not even sure how good that's going to transfer, you know, in these really hard knots and stuff. But I got it down pretty smooth, so I'm hoping for a good transfer. So stick with me. We'll be back. Okay, folks, so there is my printout. I got it all printed out and glued together or stuck together with, this is the freezer paper that's actually got a coat of the silicone on it before I printed it up. And so I'm hoping the transfer is going to be good. It's pretty much the same size as the other one that we did, that I showed a few minutes ago. So we're just going to put that thing on there and see if it'll transfer. Now, one thing that I did find out, actually just now when I printed this out, is that when I got to pay attention to what I'm doing here. I've got a mark at the front, or at the top, at the left and the right. Anyway, one thing that I did find out is that when I go to hit print in my printer, there's a setting in there and it automatically defaults at 600 DPI. Well, what I did on this, I figured I would try it. I actually changed that setting to 1200 DPI and it printed much, much clearer. All right, let's just take this one step at a time. I think I'll do a quarter at a time here. I'm hoping you guys can see what I'm doing here. So again, I'm just using something with a sharp edge. In this particular instance, I'm using the router bit depth gauge. And I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but I can kind of see through that paper. I can kind of see where my image is. Not exactly perfectly clear, but I know this is where the M, the boom, and the exclamation point are right there. Again, like I've talked about in the past, one thing that when you're working on stuff like this is you don't want to rush through it. Take your time. Really think about anything that could come up. I'm going to assume I'll probably have to go over this again after I lift it up and see what it looks like. This is the smallest piece right here. That's about the only place. Well, actually there's some points and stuff that come down there. So I try to hold that paper from wrinkling and moving too much as I'm scratching it. All right, let's see what happens here. Oop. Missing quite a bit right in this area. Again, I wasn't sure how it was going to transfer on these knotty places. Well, I guess some of my little transfer tape, not too bad. I'm going to probably have to draw that in where that went across there. Some of that I'll probably have to draw in. I'm going to try and lay it down. Looks like some of the, right where the double, the overlap is, looks like it didn't transfer too well. Let me see if I really concentrate on that, see if that helps that. Yeah, that did help quite a bit, actually. Okay. So the cool thing is, like always, yeah, that helped. That helped. So I'll keep playing with this. Let's see. Looks like in this brown area right here, that's where I'm going to have to kind of pencil that in. Looks like I lost a little bit right there, that dark black line. Yeah, that's that. Oops, started to tear the paper there. Don't want to do that. Now I gotta go the opposite way. Ah, that gave me what I wanted. And my letters, the Woodshop letters right in this area. Uh-huh, that helps. So yeah, you just have to kind of look at all the different areas before you completely take it up. But it's coming out the way I want it. It's giving me pretty good, nice sharp lines pretty much all the way around. There's a couple places here that I'll probably have to pencil in, down here especially. But my letters, I'd like those a little bit clearer in through that W, but that's right on the double. But I think that's going to be good enough. I can see enough of that. And again, I'll pencil that in. Anyway, guys, that is it. Let me move the camera up just a bit. There we go. All right, guys. That's it for today. So Friday, we'll get to carving. This will all be ready to go. We'll get to carving on this thing on Friday. Looks like the camera's kind of tilted. Man, I miss my wife. Anyway, she'll be here for Friday, I guarantee that. But we will get this thing carving. I still have an element on this, and I'll tell you, I'm a little nervous about carving through those knots. But we'll see what happens. But I've got another element that I've never done before on this sign that I've been thinking about for the last couple weeks. And I'm going to see if my theory holds out. Anyway, guys, hope you guys have a great week, and we will see you guys on Friday. If you haven't subscribed yet, we'd love for you to subscribe and like this video and share it as much as you can. If you have any questions at all on this or anything else I do, just email me directly, eric@makeawoodsign.com. If you have a message for Vicky or a question for Vicky, it's vicky with davesigns@gmail.com. And I'm on Instagram every day, make a wood sign. So thanks for watching, guys. We love you all. I hope you guys are having a great week, and we will see you on Friday. Bye-bye.